This is Soumya here, CSE Hyderabad District Manager. So I hope you are all interested to do fieldwork, right? So if you have any questions or while I'm training you, you can get many questions, okay? But you don't have the option to speak by unmuting yourself. So you can post any question in the chat box. Definitely, I'll answer all the questions by the end of the session, okay? So this is completely fieldwork. So here we have two roles. So generally, you know population census survey, right? So I hope everyone understands English here. Who doesn't understand English here? Because here many people are from old city and many doesn't know Telugu. Someone knows and someone can't understand. So that's why I mix up both Telugu and English here. Okay. So few people are still joining. So that's why I'm a little bit delay here. Yeah. So now I'm starting. So ikkada general manaki janava lekkal telusu kadandi. You people all know about this population census survey, right? What is that? So why do they collect data from us? Earlier, government teachers used to come to our home and collect data of how many people, who are they, what are their names, what is their age, all those things. They note all these details on some papers and they submit it to government, right? So similarly, this is economic census survey. So the scheme of economic census started in 1976 in India. The first economic census survey was happened in 1977. So this is the time, seventh time. Economic census survey is going to happen in India. Okay, ఇప్పుడు ఇది 7th time జరుగుతుందండి ఎకనామిక్ సెన్సస్ సర్వే 2020 లో. యాక్చువల్లీ ఫస్ట్ టైం 1977 లో జరిగింది. లాస్ట్ టైం 6th time ఏమో 2013 లో జరిగింది. అదంతా కూడా పెన్ అండ్ పేపర్ మోడల్ ఉండేది. గవర్నమెంట్ ఎంప్లాయీస్ అండ్ గవర్నమెంట్ టీచర్స్ యూస్ టు గో టు ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ హౌస్ అండ్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ షాప్ అండ్ దే యూస్ టు కలెక్ట్ ది డేటా ఆన్ పేపర్స్. బట్ నౌ the complete model has been changed. Now we are going to collect all the data in our mobiles. Okay, so to participate in this survey, everyone should have one smartphone, Android 5.0 version or higher version phone. Okay, so in this smartphone, but iOS is not supported here because this is only we have Android version app. So you can install the app economic census in Google Play Store. Okay, fine. I'll start the process now. What is this and how do we collect the data? What are the details we need to collect? Okay, I'm sharing my screen now. If anyone can't see the screen, you can post in the chat box so that I can check my screen again. Okay, now I'm sharing the screen. I hope you are able to see my screen, right? Can you see any one mark here? One mark. Yes. Okay. So in this map, you can find some area. So we have the complete Hyderabad city is divided into 573 such maps. That means such areas. Okay. So every map is defined by some boundary. So this boundary is given to one team. Okay. Team comprises of one supervisor and minimum 5 enumerators. So what is supervisor? Who is supervisor here and who are enumerators here means the person who does the survey is called as enumerator. Okay, that means they should do the field work in the particular allotted area. Okay, the supervisor is the person who manages the team and who allots the blocks. You can see the blocks here, block 1, block 2, block 3 and all. So this area will be allotted to the supervisor who manages the team, and to get the supervisor role, minimum qualification is 12th, minimum 12th qualification and 18 years above, and for enumerator, minimum 10th qualification and 18 years above. Okay, this area will be allotted to one supervisor only when the supervisor have minimum 5 enumerators under him. If he doesn't have enumerators under him, we can't allot supervisor role to a person. Okay, to become the supervisor, you should be having 5 enumerators under you who can do the field work. You got my point, right? Okay, enumerators are the person who does the survey. Using their mobiles, they should go to the allotted blocks. Okay, one enumerator will be allotted with one block first. After they complete the block, they can be allotted with the other block. Okay, after the enumerators and in the team completes all the blocks, then the supervisor will be allotted with another area. If you are interested, you can take another area. If you don't want to work with other area, you can leave after completing this area. Okay, this is how the process goes on, how the allotment goes on. Okay. So see, every map has a number, and every map have some blocks and have some household numbers. So each block contains around this is called as investigator unit, IV unit. Okay. So each IV unit consists of around 15 to 30 blocks. Each block consists of around 200 to 300 households. Okay. Please make a note of some points because it's difficult for you to remember all the things at a time. Okay. One second. I'll share the PPT now. Just wait. Yeah, sorry, I'm sharing my PPT now. Okay. I hope you are able to see my screen. Okay. So this is economic census survey. Means census means generally it's not a random thing. It's a continuous form. Okay. Census means the complete count of establishments located within the geographical boundary allotted to you. Okay. Each person will be allotted with one block, right? So in that block, you should be completing the survey of each and every house and shop. You got it? So here, after completing the training, the original registration starts. If you are interested, we'll start the original registration. Okay, after the registration process, you need to write one exam, online exam. Okay, in that exam, I'll provide the link. So the username will be your registration number and the password will be your phone number. After that, you can find, you can open your profile yourself. In that, you can find some topics here. So before entering into the field, you should be having some knowledge about this project, right? That knowledge you will gain after reading all these topics. You can also watch videos. videos in Hindi language and English language we have. Okay. Now the exam starts. After you complete the studying, exams will start. So what are these exams means? The topics which you are studying here. So what is economic census? What is enumeration? What is enumerator block? And all these things. Okay, only on these topics you will get the questions here. So the first assessment, these are called assessments. You will have 6 assessments here. Each assessment have 10 questions, 10 marks. So first one is you can find this first one as unlocked, right? This is unlocked. So first you can attempt the first assessment only. By clicking on it, the exam will start. So for 10 questions, you need to get 5 plus marks. Okay. If you didn't get 5 plus marks, you can attempt it anytime. Any attempts you can give. Any number of attempts you can give. So in such way, you complete all these 6 assessments. Then the final exam will start. Example question of these assessments are: when was the first census conducted in India? I already told you that 1977, the first census was conducted. So in the final exam, you will have 25 questions. And all these questions, all these assessments and exams, you will have time of 1 hour, 1 hour. Okay. Okay. After you pass in final exam, you will have 25 questions. But see, to write the final exam, you should be having a laptop or computer just to write the exam. So if you don't have laptop or computer with you, you can go to the nearby NET center. So you can find MISEVA center, CSC centers, right, in your area. So you can go to that center and complete the exam. Okay, after you pass the exam. So the pass mark here is just 5 marks. 5 marks out of 25 questions, okay? So you will get the certificate. You can check the certificate here. It comes under, this project comes under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay, and being done by CSC e-governance. Okay, CSC e-governance. I hope you know MISEVA centers. In Telangana state, you can find MISEVA centers. So what does they do there? They provide the schemes which need to be provided to citizens through Telangana government, right? So in the same way, the schemes provided by Pradhan Mantri office or Pradhan Mantri schemes which need to be provided to citizens will be done through CSC centers, common service centers. So they are national wide. MISEVAs are statewide, CSCs are national wide. Okay, and district manager of this CSC, Hyderabad district manager of the CSC. So the complete project is being done by CSC all over the nation. Okay, in almost all the states, the project is being completed. In some of the states, it's going on, and in Telangana, in the remaining all 32 districts, it already started. Now in Hyderabad city, we are starting this week. Okay, so only in Hyderabad city you have the chance. I mean, the citizens have the chance to participate in this project. Okay, and the ID card you will receive after completing the exam, after passing the exam. So the photo which you provide during the registration will be included here, and the name, and you will get some unique ID. So this you should carry while visiting the field. Okay, while doing the field work, you should carry compulsory. And all the permission letters we will provide you definitely. So that you can you do not face any problem in the field. Okay. So what is this work? How do we do? Okay. All this comes now. See, this is economic census survey, right? So the survey which you do is called enumeration. The person who does the survey is called enumerator. The work done by the work done by him or her is called as enumeration. Okay, in enumeration, what they do is they go to each and every house and shop, right? But how to define a shop or how to define a house? So this way, see, economic census house, building or part of building which is having a main entrance and 4 walls with 1 roof, 4 walls with 1 roof and 1 main entrance. So we say that it's having fixed structure. Then we will do survey for that. Okay. So easy houses are defined in 3 categories: residential, commercial, others. So see, generally residential means house, a general house, but they don't do any economic activity there. Just we say a house when based on a kitchen, few people live there, then it's called as residential. Okay. So if at all, some people do tuition and tailoring activities, beading making, these all activities they do. to earn some income, right, in their houses, and also outside their houses, like examples I'll provide now. See here, storing of vegetables, and you can see here they'll sell tiffins, snacks, vegetables, trade. These all things they do outside the house without fixed structure. So what we call them is not commercial, but residential come commercial, because they are not doing under the fixed structure. If they have fixed structure, we consider it as special, some unique use easy house. If they don't have fixed structure, then it considered as residential come commercial. I hope you got it. Just see what are commercial. They have fixed structure, they earn income, they do some economic activity under fixed structure, then they are called as commercial. Examples: government, private hospitals, private colleges, industries, factories, shopping malls, theaters, kirana shops, okay, cloth stores, anything you can say. The economic activity is happening under the fixed structure, they are called as commercial easy house. If they are not happening under the fixed structure, see these examples. These people doesn't have fixed structure, okay, but they're earning some income. So these are called residential come commercial. We can see example pani puri bandi, okay, and we have ice cream. They are all mobile vehicles, right? They can be in one place. They can be in Secunderabad today. They can be in Charminar some other day, right? They are not fixed structures. Okay, those all are considered as residential come commercial. Hope you got it. Okay, if you have any doubts, you just ping me on chat box so that I can clarify your doubts by the end of the session. Okay, you can have many examples, right? So many people do on the roadside many economic activities. So they are all considered as not commercial, residential come commercial. Means we collect their data at their home only, because they can be in one place today, in another place tomorrow. So we don't collect their data where we find them. Only at their home, at their residence, we collect their data as residential come commercial. Means when we go to their home, we just ask, means are you doing any commercial activities without fixed structure outside the home or inside the home? If they say no, then it is considered as just residential. If they say yes, like pani puri or ice cream, or it can be anything. We can find corn selling outside, and fruits selling outside. Okay, those are all mobile vehicles, right? So those all businesses we consider them as residential come commercial. Okay, so now the category others. Others means these are some structures, but people go there, but nothing economic activity happens there. Examples: temple, mosque, church. So these are all these fixed structures, but nothing economic activity happens there, but people go there and come. Okay, so these are all considered as others. So we doesn't do survey for those things, but we just identify. So how to identify? I'll show them in the last page of this PDF. Okay, here we have some exclusions, means we doesn't touch these things. Examples: government buildings, public administration, defense services, banks, world international organizations, illegal activities. So we can find these fixed structures regarding these points, but we should not touch these. Okay, these are exclusions. We doesn't do survey for these buildings. Okay, and mobile app you can install through Google Play Store. Okay, to log in the mobile app, you need to have IDs, credentials, login ID and password. Then we look at that login ID and password only after you complete the original registration. After that exam, after you pass, you will receive ID card and certificate, right? Okay, after you form a team of minimum 6 members, I'll share all your details to the Delhi team, central team. Okay, they will create credentials to your team. Then using that credentials, you can directly go to the field and start the survey. Okay, and see here, brand name, device version, device name, all these things the phone will capture. Because once when you start the survey using one mobile, you should be doing the complete survey using that mobile only, because it captures the device name and brand name, all these things. Because your device version is tagged to your credentials once you start the survey, and also your location. See, you can see the latitude and longitude. Once you start the survey I mean, once you log in, the place, the location of you, where you stand, that location will be captured here. Okay. Start survey and see, you can state, district, city, ward, pin code. So these are all the details automatically filled, auto-filled items. Means before creating IDs, you will tell us in which area you want to do, right? That area only will tag to you. Okay, when you log in the mobile, that area only you can find. Means in that area only you can do the survey. You can't do the survey in wherever you want. When we tag the area to you, you can do the survey in that only, in that area only. Okay, got it? And see, once we start the survey, it will ask. So let's say I went to a residence. Okay, so it considers as residential, right? So I'll enter the address here, and I'll enter the purpose of EC house as residential because nothing economic activities happening there. Okay, after filling first two fields, the third field economic census house number, automatically it will get generated. Then I'll click on continue. So residential structure with no economic activity. So I went to a home. So just they are living there, but not earning income in that house. Okay, it's called as residential, right? So after we select this purpose of EC house as residential, we will get this screens. See, you can see the screen here, left side in mobile app. What are the questions it will ask? Name of the head of the household. In house, who is the head? Okay, and mobile number of the household and total number of people living in the house, and how many male, how many female. Okay, only these are the three questions we should take from a home, because this is basically economic census survey. If in a home nothing economic activity happens, what are the details we need to take? Just who is the head, mobile number, and how many members are living there. That's it. Okay, so for completing this one, see the question E. E question is number of household members pursuing entrepreneurial activity. Means what is entrepreneurial activity? Means a person doing his own business, his own startup, we can say. Okay, tailoring. Example, tailoring. If a lady is doing tailoring in her home, okay, it means it's her own entrepreneurial activity. Okay, so that then we will consider as one person is doing that. Then we will enter the data as 1. This field we will enter 1. Okay, total number of household based establishments. Means in that household, in residential and commercial category, we can find tailoring, BD making, and outside the house, vegetable selling, fruit selling. All these things comes under residential and commercial. So if they are doing, then we will enter the data. Like if they are doing the tailoring, one type of establishment. Okay, one type of establishment. But I said I went to a home. Okay, then this will be 0 and 0. Okay. After filling these three details for a residence, the survey will be finished. We will click on finish. Before clicking on this submit button, in the final stage, you need to confirm all the details again with the family members so that nothing errors will occur. Now we will click on submit. Now the survey is over for one house. Okay, you will get some amount for this survey. How much you will get individually? You call me after this training session. I will discuss with you definitely. Okay. After this training session, commercial part I will discuss with you individually. Got it? So now let's say I went to one house. So one lady is doing tailoring there. Okay. So what are the details I need to take here? I will keep the purpose of EC house as residential, as mentioned before. Okay. RM's residential cum commercial category comes under residential. I forgot to tell you one thing, because see here, in purpose of EC house, residential, commercial, others, and temporary closed. I didn't tell you about this temporary closed, right? So if at all I went to do survey in one apartment. In that apartment, the family went to movie. Means that time I can't find them, right? I can't find their details. I can't collect their details. Then what do? I don't know whether they left the home completely or temporarily. So I will inquire about those people in their beside house. Okay. Then they will tell us, right, they went to a movie or they are living here, but at present they are not there. Means we will keep it as temporary closed We will go to that house again the next day. Okay. See, now I entered residential come commercial category. It will ask head of the household, mobile number, and the total how many male and female. Actually, the mobile number here is not mandatory field. Means if you ask anyone about the mobile number, if they don't say, if they say that they doesn't have mobile number, you can leave. You can leave. No need to ask them forcibly. Okay, because if they don't tell, we can leave that because this is not the mandatory field. By default, it will take one number. By default, it will generate. Okay. So now one lady is doing tailoring activity. Let's say. So what we enter here in E question, number of household members pursuing entrepreneurial activity, we will enter as one person is doing, and number of household based establishment in F question you can find here. Okay. One establishment is there, one tailoring activity, right? So one type of economic activity. Then I will click on continue. It will show, you can find here, right side, one box. So the count, the data, the number which I provide in the F field, F field you can find, right? In F field, the number which I provide means the number of establishments, the number of economic activities, right? Let's say if in the same house, the sister of that lady is doing roti business, okay, or snacks business outside her house. What we say, 2 establishments, right? So then we keep the data, the number as 2 here. Then 2 boxes will appear. That means we will collect the data regarding the economic activity of tailoring in one box and regarding roti making in another box. You will get amount for roti making activity and you will get the amount for tailoring activity. Okay. For each survey will be considered as individual, separate survey. You will get amount for both. Okay. If they are doing 3 activities, let's say in that home, one male is doing BD business, BD making. Then we'll take three establishments, 3 household activities. Okay. So let's say one activity is happening, then the box showing as pending, right? We will click on this box. Then it will ask about the commercial economic activity. The details are ownership code, means they are doing in residential, right? So we'll automatically select as residential. And after that, residential, their house is their own or partnership, society, cooperative, self-help groups. So these terms may be new for you. I will provide one PDF. In that you can find the complete definitions of all these terms. Okay, all the terms which are present in this PDF or which are present in this project, you can read about all those definitions in in the material which I will provide. Okay, and by the end of the session, I will provide one Google form link in the chat box. If you are interested after learning about this training, after you gain knowledge about this project in this training session, if you are interested. And if you have any person, if you are not interested, if you have any other persons in your family, or if you know any unemployed youth, because I said you what minimum qualification should be 10th. So there are many students who want to earn some income, who want to get some pocket money, right? So there are we can find many people. So if at all you can find those such type of people, you can refer this to them. Then they can do. So let's get back. The type of establishment, I have given you some examples, tailoring, BD making, those all we do inside the house. So if tailoring is happening there, we'll pick on inside house. If they are selling fruits outside their home, then it's considered as without fixed structure, outside house. Okay. And name of owner, who is doing the activity, name of owner, and the mobile number, nature of economic activity, we can find 6 categories. What to select means, in India, the whole economic activities, what all happening in India, all economic activities are divided into 6 categories. Okay. So how to find, example, let's say tailoring. How to find tailoring? It comes under which category? How to find that? It will be difficult, right, for all persons. So we know, okay, a few things, what we do, we can know. But all economic activity details, we can't know. So that's why we will provide you one handbook. Okay, in that handbook, you can find all these things regarding all the economic activities. Let's say one person is fisherman. That fisherman comes under which category? You can find in that handbook. Okay. All the activities happening in India, you can find in that handbook, and which one comes under which category you can find in that. It will be easy for you then. You should be carrying that handbook with you during the fieldwork. And again, the subcategories of that economic activities. If you select the trading, if one person is doing trading, in the trading, specifically which work, okay? In that specifically, it comes under which category. So in that way, you can fill all these details using the handbook. It's not a difficult task. It's a simple task only if you have handbook, okay? And owner, the person who is doing the tailoring, the person age, gender, caste, religion, and select nature of operation. See, you can find 3 options here. What is perennial? Perennial means if a person does the business year long, continuously year long, like say kirana shop, general stores, they do business year long, right? So those are called as perennial. Seasonal means only in any of those seasons. We can say a mango juice shop, okay? Corn, we can find the corn vehicles only during the rainy seasons or winter seasons, right? And the casual activities means they can do the business in any season, in any month, but they do only for certain period of time. Let's say 2 weeks or 4 weeks. What can be the examples? Say exhibition. We can find exhibitions in outskirts of the city, and in towns and villages we can find. Okay, that exhibition people they arrange the exhibition in one town this month and the other town the next month, right? So they will do the business in that area only specific period of time or certain period of time. So those are called as casual activities. Another example we can tell fireworkers. So they keep that business only during the Deepavali season. So those all activities comes under casual activities. Now, whether the manufacturing services means they are producing anything. Are they producing anything? If no, we will click on no. If they are preparing if they are manufacturing some things, you know generally the word manufacturing, right? So if they are using some raw material and they are producing some output, then they are called as manufacturing units, okay? And whether exporting unit means not from one area to one area. It's not called as exporting. When we call exporting from India to other country, okay? Only when they are exporting from India to other country, then we'll keep this as exporting unit, okay? And major source of finance. Actually, this right side block you can't see here. This is blank, so this is missing here. When I share the PDF, you can find the options. You will have some options. Major source of finance means how they are getting to start the business. From where did they get amount? Okay, like we can say loans. Some people take loans and start the business, right? In that way. The next question is number of persons engaged. Hired workers. Here you can see one date. What is the date? If I go to one shop today, the date will be yesterday's date. Means hired workers means what? Hired workers means, see, let's say you come to my home to do survey. I'm doing tailoring here. If I take some people for employment, means I have employees under me. Employees. Who are called employees? If I pay salary, monthly salary to them, they are called hired workers. Let's say I have my own sister and she is helping me. Through that also I am earning income. But I don't pay salary to her, right? So such people are called non-hired workers. You can find many people in shopping malls and in many outside business, like in kirana shop also we can find one person will own the business, but also their family members will help them, right? You can find such people. So those are called non-hired workers. If we pay salary to them monthly, they are called as hired workers. Means if I go to one shop today to do the survey, what I ask is, till yesterday, how many hired employees do you have? And till yesterday, non-hired workers means how many helping staff for whom you don't pay salary you have. In that total people, and how many male, how many female. Okay. Contractual workers engaged through a contractor or agency. What does it mean? Contractual workers means, see, let's say construction. Example, construction. So that thing doesn't happen all over the life, right? That's not the permanent employment opportunity for a person. So in some projects, one person will involve. In other projects, some other persons will involve. Means, let's say I have one project, but I need new people only for that project. Means I will take them as contractual workers. See, I want 4 people. You need to work for this much of time. I will pay this much of amount. Likewise, many projects will happen around the world. So those are the persons involved in that projects are called contractual workers. Okay, and investment in plant and machinery. Okay, let's say tailoring. In tailoring, what I need tailoring machine, right, to start that. So I need to invest on that. But I'm not selling that machine, but I'm investing on that. But I am not selling that machine, so I'm not getting profit through that machine on that machine. Okay, I'm just investing on that, but I'm not getting any profit on that machine, but using that for my business. So that's called investment. Okay, investment. You got my point, right? So if you have any doubts, you can post in the chat box. I'll clear all your doubts after that. And annual turnover. So you can find investment. You can select the ranges. It doesn't ask you the exact figure. Okay, you should be knowing the range of those people. Okay, investment less than 10 lakh, 10 to 25 lakh. You can select any one of those. Okay, but we don't know whether they are telling the right details or not. Right? But we can't force them. Whatever the details they provide to us, we will take those details only. But sometimes what happens is, okay, let's say a tailoring person will tell, I'm getting just 25,000 annually. Okay, we can consider. But if you go to one shopping mall or one theater, if that person says, I'm getting only 1 lakh annually, can you consider it as real data? No, right? So such data, we should have minimum common sense over there. So the persons who are going to field should have minimum common sense over the commercial works, what they do. Okay, even if you don't have such general knowledge, through experience you can get. Okay, that's not a problem. Because see, what I said is, one mark will be given to one supervisor, right? One supervisor will have 5 enumerators, minimum 5 enumerators. So only enumerators are doing field work. What is the role of supervisor? To manage those enumerators, and if the enumerators are getting any trouble or if they want any support in the field, supervisor should help. Okay, and all the data collected by enumerators will be submitted to supervisor. You are the supervisor level 1, let's say SL1. I'm telling that as SL1. After you, there is SL2. Who is SL2? Supervisor level 2. Deputy Statistics Officers. In each district, we have some deputy statistics officers who work in collector office. So what is their role? Enumerators will collect the data and submit their data in their mobile. Then it will be submitted to SL1, the person who manages the team. So SL1, what does he do is, in his credentials, using his credentials, when he log in into the app, he can find all the data collected by their enumerators. So what will he do is, either accept or reject each and every survey. Either accept or reject. When will he reject means, if he finds any blunders. Let's see, in one village, like in Nizamabad, what happened is, one person went to one home and have filled the data like what we have taken for home, who is the head of the family. So he didn't enter the home, he didn't inquire any person in the home, but what details he filled is the details what he find on the wall outside the house. Okay, he filled those details and submitted. But when SL2, what they do is field verification. SL1, they will verify the data in their mobile only. After SL1 verifies the data, it will be submitted to SL2. What SL2 do is, again they will go to the field and verify the data again. field verification they will do. What all enumerators does in that 10%, only 10%, not the complete all the surveys. If you do 100 surveys, if supervisor verifies 100 surveys from their team, 10% of those means 10 surveys will be verified again by going to field by SL2, by deputy statistics officers. So what happened in Nizamabad is when SL2 went to that particular home, what he found is the person is dead. But the enumerator gave his details because he didn't inquire any person in the home. It's such a blunder, right? Then they will get the penalty. They should pay the penalty. Okay, so such things doesn't happen. You should be cautious about this. Who should be cautious? Supervisor level 1 should be cautious. Because for each survey you are getting the amount. So what some people will do, like very example in any Santani, another example. So in one village, let's say in one street there are completely houses. And generally if there is small area, we know all the houses and all the people over there, right? So what one student did is, he resided in his home only, but done all the surveys of in that street, of that village, all the street surveys he did. When SL2 went to verification, what he found is location. What is it showing? Only the student residence address. But he did only with that location. He filled all the details of all the houses in the village. I already said you here, it's capturing our location also. Okay, it's capturing our location also. Okay, fine. And here come to this point, annual turnover, you can find ranges here. Okay. So these are the questions. It asks for commercial activity happening in home. Connected to home means residential come commercial. So now it's showing as completed. See, after completed, if you find that one more person is doing some other business, let's say pickle, one other person is manufacturing, preparing pickles and selling those through home. So that also comes under residential come commercial category, right? So what we do is we click on add new. See here, add new option. So when we click on this, we can one more box appears here. Under this box, the second box appears. We click on that box, and again it asks the details about the pickle business. Okay, you will get the amount for first box and also the second box. Okay, before submitting all the details, you will confirm whether they are right or wrong. Okay, now come to commercial establishments. Let's say you went to one kirana shop, one general store. The purpose of ECOs will be commercial. Then it will ask who is the owner and the address, mobile number, email ID. Email ID is also not mandatory. Nature of economic activity, as I said, the same questions will repeat here. The economic activity comes under which category? And the extra questions here are whether uses IT for business operations. Means, what is IT? Information technology. Means either of the softwares. Okay. Let's say there are many supermarkets who are using some websites, their own websites for business. Example, we can say Amazon also. Okay. And in other way, how can they use software in their business? Can anyone tell? Many people generate bill through computer. Computer bill they will generate. Means they are using some software, right? So that also comes under, they are using IT for business operations. Okay, then we will click on yes. If they are not using any website for their business, if they are not providing computer bill, they are just providing the paper bill, means they click as no. Okay, whether manufacturing services, whether they are doing any manufacturing and exporting and importing from other countries. Okay, investment, annual turnover. The extra question is PAN card of owner. If they don't say, no problem, we can leave. Okay. And extra questions here are registering authority. See, if I want to establish one shop in my area, directly can I establish without any license? No, right? So I should be registering my shop. How to register? So every establishment have some acts. According to some acts, they will establish. Example, Shops and Establishment Act, Companies Act, Food Safety Act, such things. If you can't find any of, if you went to one shop, they tell one option. But if you can't find that option in the given list, you can click on the last option. See here, any other act not covered above. Okay, if you can't find any option you're looking for here, then you can select the last option, any other act not covered above. If you select, let's say you select Companies Act, then it will ask you the registration number, registration date, registration place. Okay. And the last question is whether the establishment is branch or office of another enterprise. See, in Vijayata Supermarket, Ratnadip Supermarket, or else we can see some PVR cinemas, theaters. So there are many businesses who have their branches, right? So if they have branches, we'll keep as yes. If they don't have any branch, then we'll keep as no. If you select no, the survey is finished. If you select yes, then see in the right side of the screen, you can find some more questions. Means where is the main branch? What is the PAN code of that main enterprise? And where is it located? Okay, that's it. 3 more questions will be asked. So this is all about commercial. And the others, what I said others? Those are also fixed structures, but nothing economic activity happens over there. People come and go, but they doesn't stay completely over there. So examples, temple, church, mosque, all these things, and burial grounds even. Okay, burial grounds, if it's open area, we don't consider it. But if some structures, no problem. I'll give many examples in material which I provide. Okay, say let's say in the area which I'm allotted with have some temples or some places of worship. What I need to do is I don't enter into that, but I should identify that. How to identify? I will enter the address and I will enter the purpose of Easy House as others. So this field is automatically filled. Okay, for everything Easy House number automatically it gets filled. And remarks, only for others category, remarks field you need to fill. In remarks, what we mention is its place of worship. Okay, just we are identifying them, but not doing the survey for them. Okay, I hope you got it. So in the area, okay, I think you might be getting many questions like, what is the use of this survey? Why are we doing this survey? So if someone asks you when you go to their home, so and one more thing is you no need to enter their home. You need to go into their home and ask. You can directly take from outside of their home, because you're required to take only 3 options: who is head and what is his mobile number and how many people are residing in the house. So for those 3 details, it's enough to take the details from outside their home only, because in this situation we can't take risk. Okay, why are we doing survey? So generally you all people know about this population census survey. Why are people collecting people data, population? So they know after knowing the age of every people only, they can segregate how many children are there in one area, how many old age people are there in one area. So that what will they do? If any pension schemes are there, to launch the pension scheme, they should be knowing about how many people are there over 60 years, right? Without knowing, to whom will it be applicable? The government should be having the data of persons to whom they need to provide pension. Without having the data, they can't allot the pension, right? In the same way, if they want to provide the vaccine, they should be having the data of children, right? In example, let's say in Hyderabad, if only in Hyderabad, the collector wants to provide the vaccine for free for children, let's say for children, how can the collector provide the vaccine for children without having the data of children with her? You know our collector? Do you know our Hyderabad district collector? It's Shweta Mohanty madam. So earlier she was the collector of Banapati district. Now she is the collector of Hyderabad district. Okay. So without having the data, how can she provide some schemes to us, to the citizens of Hyderabad? No, right? In the same way, this is economic census survey. Till now I said you examples for population census survey. So in the same way for economic census survey, only when, let's say in Hyderabad city, I have these many of people doing general store business, these many of people doing roti business, these many of people doing tailoring business. If one person, one MLA or some political leaders or some bureaucrats wants to launch one scheme regarding tailoring, so if they want to provide tailoring machines to ladies for free, how do they know who is doing the business of tailoring? Only after collecting the data, right? Did you get my point? Only after collecting data, they can launch the schemes. Without having the perfect data, they can't do anything. Because, one important point is, if you go to any home, if they say, why should I give my data? They will ask you. What should you tell them? You should give these examples. So, let's say you went to one home, they're doing the tailoring business. So that lady will tell, I'm doing this tailoring business, but I don't want to tell you any details about my business. What is the importance? Why should I give? Then what you need to tell to her is, see, in future, if any scheme is launched in this Hyderabad district or in Telangana or in India regarding tailoring, or it can be pension schemes also, for the people who are doing tailoring business, Prime Minister can say, I will provide more pension to you only who are doing tailoring. It can be of any type, right? It can be for any business. They can say they can launch any type of schemes for any type of business. We can't say, we can't expect, because we are not citizens of not the persons who are launching the schemes. So to have only when the bureaucrats or political leaders who have the data, they can launch the schemes. I hope you got my point. So you should tell the importance of this scheme, or sorry, of this census, of this economic census survey, why you are doing and how can it help you to that lady. Okay, to that lady you should tell. So if any scheme get launched in this Hyderabad or Telangana or India, if you doesn't give data to me now, in future the scheme will not be applicable to you. Hope you got it. Okay. So if any scheme gets launched, you will not be in that scheme. You will not get that pension. Okay. In that way you need to convey the importance of this scheme. I hope you got it. Okay. And from my side, almost it's over. All the things I have shared with you. Now I will come to the questionnaire. So there will be one-to-one interaction again, just to understand the concept. Okay. So now I'm sharing one link with you. So in chat box, I'm providing one link. Okay. Just wait. Wait for a few seconds. I will share this link. And also this video is recorded, guys. So if you want recording, I can share the recording, no problem. And I'll share the complete material also. Just ping me one-to-one. I'm sending my WhatsApp number here. So if at all when you call me, if I didn't answer or if it is getting engaged, if you are getting busy on my number, you just ping me on WhatsApp number. I will tell you when to call. Okay, and I will call few people to office one by one, because this situation is not so good. So I will make some supervisors come to office day by day. I will provide you some time so that you can get clear understanding and the complete exam also. I said you to complete exam, right? So easily to complete the exam, you should be having the clear knowledge. So whoever wants the recording, you just ping me on this WhatsApp number. Just now I sent my WhatsApp number. Please check in the chat box. Please save those. Okay, and the complete commercial part, whoever are interested, first fill the link which I am providing here. Okay, just wait. Send one link in chat box. Everyone, if you are interested, do register in that. Okay. After registering, I will call one to one. And as I said, if you are having some team members with you, means if you can form a team of minimum 6 members, one area will be allotted to you only, specifically to you only. If you have team of 6 members, if you don't have team of 6 members, I can make you join in other team. Means I will attach you with other team. If you can work as a team, I mean, the persons in your team, you should recruit. You should get your own team. We don't provide you with the team. If you are a single person, then we will attach you to other team. I hope you got it. And all the commercial part, I will discuss one to one. You can call me after this training session. Just give some gap. I will call one to one. Or else you can call me back, no problem. But don't worry, if you don't receive call, you will definitely receive call from one of my colleagues, okay? And any more questions here, you can post in chat box. So this is just the training session, okay? Just the training session. Who are interested to participate in this survey, you just fill the form which I have provided in chat box. If you are really interested, provide your details in chat box, okay? In this link, okay? Not in chat box, in this link. And every person will have the target of 100 surveys. Easily you can complete 100 surveys in a day. Okay, easily you can complete 100 surveys in a day. And no timing specifications, because see, in commercial areas, let's say you are in commercial, you are doing work in commercial area. How people live there? They open in city, they open the shops very late, right? Around 11, 12, right? They close the shops even late. But if you go to residential area, we can't collect the data by going at night times. But in commercial area, even we can work in the night times because the shops are open. The shops will be open in commercial area. That's not a problem. See, the timings also you should decide when to go. See, according to your area, you should plan. According to your area, you should plan your timings. But every person will have target of 100 surveys each day, per day. What is the difference between supervisor and enumerator? So as I said earlier, I think you joined late, no problem. No problem, Andy. I'll take training sessions daily. I'm taking training sessions daily, online training sessions daily. Okay, tomorrow also I will conduct one online training session. Okay, if anyone miss any data here, or if you have any more persons from your side who are interested to participate in this, ask them to join for tomorrow's session. Okay, and the person who are here now, if you want the material, if you want to participate, you just fill the form which I have given in the chat box. Okay, one person came up with the question, ma'am, if the person thinks about CAA or NRC, what to do? I just wanted to discuss about this point also. So basically, do you know what is NRC? What is CAA? Citizenship Amendment Act. And NRC, National Registration of Citizens. So what is this? What is that? And what is Economic Census Survey? So that is completely about citizenship. So basically, while you are going to field, before you enter the field, you should be knowing the difference between the citizenship, all these things, and our economic census survey project. You should be knowing the difference. Okay, that's completely regarding the citizenship. But here in our project, we are collecting the data about their economic activity only. This is completely economic census survey. Okay, exam will be only after you complete the registration, only after you form a team. When you form a team, okay, when you form a team, just let me know about your team, names and mobile numbers. When you ping me on my WhatsApp number, I will call to you and complete your original registrations. Original registrations I will do. Okay, original registrations I will do about, of all your persons. After original registration only, you will be able to complete the exam. What will be the period of survey? It's of 3 months only. So I'm sharing my number again. You just ping me on WhatsApp. Okay. So I'm continuously receiving calls. So when you try to call me, if you are getting busy tone, don't worry, I will call you back definitely. Or you try me after some time. Okay, I hope all you got it. It already started. The census survey already started in many states. In many states, it already ended also. Now in 32, remaining 32 districts, almost it's completed. In Hyderabad city, we are starting this week. Okay. And timing and salary, just if you are interested, just fill the link and call me. Then I'll discuss with you individually. Okay. Thanks everyone. I'm leaving now. Thank you. For original registration also, ping me on WhatsApp. I will definitely support all the people. Okay. It's available only in Hyderabad city. Only GHMC limits. Thanks everyone.